She said that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy gazpacho.
Sports can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Advice, did you know that Arsenal died?
These got me buzzing.
Up the Toffees. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm not gonna comment on that. Welcome back to another episode of Footy with the Boys.
Oh, God.
I
Already?
am here today. I am your host, Jared, and I am joined by my
It's his boy.
wonderful co-host, Michael Tracy, over there in Michigan. How's the mitten treating you?
What the fuck is that voice?
Hello! Hi, Jared. Joining you from Michigan, where the Coca-Cola's cold and the takes are even colder.
You sound like a Santa Claus movie, a little elf.
I was just trying to keep the vibe, dude. I don't know what you were starting with. I had to keep it
Yeah,
up.
you have to ride the wave to start. It gets the people in. It gets the people going. Nick, the people have been going maybe a little too much around you. Coming back from a stolen car. Oh, what a time. You are coming back from a stolen car, but you get the car back. Good for you, man. Good
Can
for
we
you.
can we
That
just
is-
get a quick like roller coaster of a weekend that you had, Nick?
Yeah, let's get the
Sure.
rundown on that.
Okay, sure. So we'll start. The only place to start, Arsenal versus Liverpool. Riding high, dominating, conceded own goal. Misery. Crash. Then win the game. Jubilation. Record the podcast. Brag. Incredible vibes. The highest I've ever been. Immediately as we end our last podcast, blackout. My apartment loses power all the way
Drunk
down.
did you get?
40 mile per hour winds outside, pouring rain. I mean, it is horrible. Trees are falling, power lines are out. I wake up the next morning, car gone. Called the tow truck. They did not tow it. File a police report. Tragic. Lowest I've ever been. 1 a.m. Police call. We got it. I find the police car, get my car back on my way. In the car, half-eaten bag of Takis and a vape. So now I have my car. Bang.
I can tell you what I would have done.
What would you have
Had some
done?
Takis and ripped a vape and then drove home.
I think I would have actually gotten AIDS. I'm pretty sure that's how it started, if I'm being honest.
I would just like to say
Yeah.
that I'm more surprised that they found your car than that it was stolen. Just gonna put that out there.
All
I
right.
agree.
I'm pretty surprised that in the Bay Area they gave a single fuck about your
Yeah,
car
they
being
like
stolen.
they took the time to
How
look
long
for
ago
it.
since-
No.
Ooh.
Shout out to I forgot his name already. Might have been Roberto, but he lives next to the alley where they dumped this car, and he's the one who called the cops. So shout out to
But they-
homie.
Holy, what a
dumped
guy!
the car and didn't take stuff from it.
No, apparently like they've left 3 cars in the past week there, like that have gotten stolen. So they said they're
doing
gonna
it for
stake it
sport.
out now.
They're doing
They
it
said
for
they're gonna stake it
sport.
out. I was like, hey, could you have
Fine.
maybe locked in at 2 cars so that this wouldn't have fucking happened? Like they're like, 2's
Hey.
a coincidence. Let's wait for Nico's.
Does it all
Shout out
make you
Roberto.
insecure that they took your car and they said, nah, never mind. That your car wasn't
Oh,
good
no.
enough for them.
No, I think they're just crying right now. They're looking for their vape, and guess what, buddy? It's in a dumpster, you ho.
I said, fuck, man, I left my Takis in that one.
Really quick before we jump into the pod, I pulled out the vape and I went up to the cop. I was like, you guys need this to do like DNA testing? And he looked at me, he was like, we don't really do that. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but he's been watching all too much
ain't
NCIS
CSI.
over
Oh
there.
my god, that's fucking
I was
awesome.
like, cool, I'll just throw it away. He's like, yeah.
He goes, yeah, there's zero investigation going further than this. Other
I
than
want
that
this
you
criminal
got yours.
caught.
I was the opposite. I got my car broken into when I was down in Florida, and I like called them over, and they came and they like did the fingerprint dust and fucking checked the whole car down and shit. I was surprised. I thought they were just gonna be like, oh well, that was fucking weird, huh? Good luck with your stuff.
They said, oh damn, that sucks.
To be fair,
Yeah.
like I think there's still 100,000 people without power right now in San Jose. So
Yeah.
I think they got some shit going on.
Yeah.
I think also San Jose has issues in terms of crime that they're not investigating a single car being stolen, especially when it's found. No.
I'll take the win.
But you know what? Maybe with footy with the boys, we get into a little bit of footy here after our wonderful car talk for a bit. And the first thing we need to decide is what World Cup game are we going to? Are we going to East Rutherford, New Jersey for the final to watch Greg Berhalter's men lead him out there? Greg Berhalter had a quote that he said, "It's extra motivation to have the final so close to where he grew up." And I said, "Buddy, I'm the biggest U.S. men's national team fan there is, but I ain't gonna be there."
Ain't gonna be there, G.
So what stage do you think we
Group
optimistically buy
stage.
tickets for?
Group stage.
Keep it safe.
We guarantee it.
Yeah, we gotta
Guarantee it.
guarantee some games. Look,
Yeah.
here's the plan I have. Okay, I'm already on the West Coast, so there might be bias here, but I say they have the first 3 games. First one was SoFi. I want to go there. Dope
That's
stadium.
Copa America.
But no, dude, World
Oh,
Cup.
that's World Cup. Yeah. My
Yeah.
bad, my bad.
So they start in LA, but then they go to Seattle and then back down to LA. I say we start at Seattle and then road trip it down to LA.
That's a long ass drive,
road
bro.
trip.
It's like 18 hours.
I really don't
Yeah.
want to go to Seattle.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to see
Why
the
don't you want
coast.
to go to Seattle?
It's like
Yeah.
LA but colder.
No, it is not. What the are you talking about? LA
I
is
don't think
horrible. Seattle's great.
I don't even like
Seattle
LA.
and LA do not seem like the same city, but climate differences.
Seattle's closer to San Francisco, honestly. Just like different social issues.
Oh yeah, you really made
I'm
a good
in,
pitch there.
I'll bring a rain jacket. You count me in, and
Hell yeah.
I'll go to the Meadowlands. Matt Turner
Oh,
inspired me today. Matt Turner, your back is my number one in goalie, just for what you said. He said, "What's the limit on this World Cup?" He said the final, and he said, "You know what? You make it to the final, you might as well win it." So, cheers to that, Matt Turner. Let's have ourselves a year in 2026.
That is a W quote.
Speaking of Matt Turner, he also had a quote where he talked about Gio Reyna when he was being rumored to go to Nottingham Forest. He texted Gio Reyna to say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm at Nottingham Forest. Feel free to ask me any questions. Are the rumors true?" And what did Gio Reyna respond with, Nick? Nothing. He did not reply to Matt Turner. Matt Turner reached out very graciously and nice to give him some information about Nottingham, let him know, and Gio Reyna just ghosted him. And that is about the most Gio Reyna story I think you could come up with for Mr. Reyna over there in Nottingham. But his former teammate also is in the news here. Jude Bellingham will get his signature logo with Adidas.
I'm not
He
doing
is. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of these signature logos like the Shaq logo. I think Michael Jordan is about the only one where I feel like it's really worked out to have a nice signature logo.
I don't
when
even
it's
know
like
what the
an
Shaq
actual
logo
jersey.
is.
I mean, that's for a league. That's not for a. I guess.
Shaq is just
yeah.
dunking Palmer.
It's pretty
Yeah, he's
sweet.
Oh,
just-
that's a surprise.
He's shooting a free throw. It's pretty bad. But David Beckham, he had one, didn't he? With the arm pulled up, hitting his free kick stride. I don't think it was that big.
What the Heisman?
Heisman's good.
Is that a? I don't know if that's the trophy. Not really its own logo though.
I think he's
A
getting a
logo.
signature model as well from Adidas. Not just a logo, but possibly a signature model cleat. So that's pretty
Giving
big
him a
news. We
model?
don't see that. Yeah.
Fucking
the
good
lucky lady?
joke.
Oh.
It's back in fashion.
Let's get Adidas on as our sponsor. We'll get some models.
I want those new Predators. Hook me up.
Bro,
I'll
you
do anything.
need models to put in the
Do you
company
think
G
do you
wagon.
think it's a little early for him to have a signature shoe, or are they just
Yes.
they know he's going to be a star and they're going for it? But I mean, I don't know.
He's not
Seems a bit early,
the
no?
face of the England national team yet. You can't give him a signature shoe.
How old is this kid?
22?
I think he's
21?
20.
20?
He's 20.
I think 20. Yeah.
Oh, you are on
Yeah,
Google.
what's his name? How do you spell it?
Jude Bellingham? Jude
I think he
Bellingham?
almost he could be considered the face of England. I mean, who do you
I
think it
think
is?
him
Harry
for
Kane right
20,
now? Or-
2-0.
It's Harry Kane, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Him or Harry Kane, though, I think he's the rising star. He's the coming up face, I think. And
He hasn't
you're not gonna give
played
it to
he hasn't played a major tournament for them yet, really.
he plays for Real Madrid and he's killing it.
he played the World Cup.
I mean, he did, but he
Yeah.
also didn't start every
Yeah.
game. Like he wasn't a fixture.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that, but from a marketing perspective, there's no one bigger than this guy. He's going to sell shoes, sell jerseys, and if I'm a young kid coming up right now, I don't want to be Harry Kane. I want to be Jude Bellingham. I mean, he's got the look, he's got the hair, he's got the drip, and I'd want the cleats probably, right?
Now he's got the logo.
W glazed by Mike there. He's a Jude lover.
Look in those
Alright.
eyes. I don't know.
Hey Jude.
All right. We're learning a lot about Mike here, but I will say I think it's getting in on the ground floor on Jude Bellingham. You know that if he's at Real Madrid, Kylian Mbappe is about to go there. The amount of attention that guy is going to get, the promotion is going to be insane. He's an English player, going to be a star, going to be marketing mania around that man. So,
By the way, Mike also just confirmed he's a predator, so watch out.
Only on the field.
Right.
Pause.
Pause.
boss. You know what? We're getting a little off track once again here. So why don't we get into the featured games for this week? We have some good ones, and we start off with none other than our friends over in Manchester, Manchester United, 6th place, kind of working their way up, and this could be another big game for them. Like honestly, if they win this game, that would I think say a lot about where they sit right now. Nick, do you think Manchester gets it done? And if you are Manchester, what are you doing to make sure that you beat an Aston Villa side that has not looked bulletproof by any means, but certainly will be a challenge?
At Villa Park, I think you gotta favor Villa here. If you're Man U, this is your chance to make a statement. Feels like. Listen, think confirmed 2 months at least, right, for the Bacha, Lissandro Martinez. So, seems like he did himself in, which again was his fault for playing a bit like an idiot. But neither here nor there. Hope he gets better. Um, it's a really big game, and with them kind of finding some goal scoring form, I think they can hang with this Aston Villa team. That's going to be again what they're known for is incredibly attacking. Fullbacks get super up the pitch, really fluid in movement. If that midfield isn't controlling the game, they're also really vulnerable to get hit on counters or just open up in general from open play. So, Pau Torres, I believe, still out. Bunch of injuries for them. I think if you're Man U, this is a huge statement game. I'm saying it right now. If they win this game, I'm officially taking Man U seriously as a conference league contender.
Yep. Mike, they're still a bit off of really anything, as Nick signifies there. They win this game, they're still at very least 3 points off of 5th place. So there's still a bit of a ways, and obviously between Aston Villa and them, it's 8 points. But regardless, I think for Aston Villa's side, this is a pretty big game. It's obviously Manchester United, a historic franchise. Yes, they're a bit down on form and how they've been in the past 2-3 years, but it's still Manchester United, and any team in England is going to want to win against a historic name like that. Obviously, Aston Villa's had the better season, but do you see this as a big statement game for them to really prove that they are having such a great season by beating a top team like Manchester United in terms of reputation?
Yeah, it's definitely a statement game. They're in a run of relatively poor form for how well they've played this season. They lost really poorly against Newcastle in their last home game, and they tied Everton before that, and they lost to Manchester United right after Christmas at Old Trafford in a 3-2 game when Man U wasn't playing all that well and didn't have some of these players back. So Man U's definitely coming into this with more form, more fire. Nick said Paul Torres is still out. Esri Konsa also picked up an injury, so there goes another center back option. Probably be Langette and Diego Carlos in the back. So still an okay pairing, just not your first choice guys. And with the way Man U's playing, scoring goals right now, this is a scary affair for them. The midfield playing well is where Aston Villa would have had the advantage in the middle of the park most of the season, you would say, especially with Douglas Luiz and Kamara playing so well. But Casemiro could cause some problems with them if he wins a ball, causes a counterattack. With how high up their back line is going to be, the pace that Man U has, they can get in behind easily. And if they continue their goal scoring form, it could be an issue. I see this as a tough test for both teams. It would be a statement victory either way. And if Man U gets it done, forget about Conference League. Could be cementing a Europa spot. That's big news for those Red Devils, Nick. They love to play on a Thursday.
They love to
I'll be
play.
I'll be happy. Anything Man U does this year, I'm pretty confident it's not going to be anywhere near top 4. So they're frauds, and let's stick on it.
They're building. You have to trust the process. Eric Ten Hag, let him cook.
I
But
want them to win their
certainly-
last 3 games to secure 7th, and then all offseason have to hear Man U talk about winning the league next year. Like that's what I want. And then I'm just gonna
they'll
pull
drop to
receipts.
10th. They'll drop to 10th, fight their way up to like 6th or 7th, and be like, oh, if there are a few more weeks, we would have gotten
Yeah.
it. But I think honestly, Mike, you kind of touched on it. The attacking fullbacks, we saw it with Arsenal and Liverpool. There's ways to exploit that with pacey wingers, and certainly the wingers for Manchester United are starting to gain some form. Højlund is starting to gain some form, so there is some threat for an Aston Villa team that is not a super defensive team. It's more of a great attacking team and great combination team. So Manchester United will certainly have their shot in this one. That brings us to our next game that also includes a Manchester team. And unfortunately, I don't see that much of a shot here. The fan in me is, fuck it, let's go 0-0 draw. We got this. And the crackhead in me says, bring Beto on and have him score a hattie versus the shit team. But the more sound brain would say, ew, this could get pretty ugly versus Man City here. Man City versus Everton. Everton has not been in fine form. Man City, Kevin De Bruyne is back. Everything is working for them right now, and they are making a good turn for that title charge. Mike, what do you want to see out of this one? What do you think we'll see out of this one?
I want to see us just bring a gritty match to them. Really lay back, try to go on the counter. I mean, that's all we can really pray to do. Man City's in such good form right now. That Brentford game, yeah, Brentford scores first, and they had a few good chances in the beginning of the game, but you always thought Man City was going to come back and win it. It always seemed like that, and you didn't know who was going to score the goal, and it happened to be Foden 3 times. So when they have those kind of players who can just score anytime, any game, it's scary for me, man. I have no faith. I hope we have something up our sleeve, but I don't see it, dude. Nick, am I missing something here? Am I being too cynical, or am I just being a realist?
I just think like, you know, you don't have to watch every game. You know what I mean? Like everyone's allowed to miss one of their team's games. And
Sure.
I think it's a solid choice to pick this one. I don't know. I don't know how much joy is going to come from watching the boys. That being said, if the improbable, close to impossible happens, you'll never forgive yourself for missing it. So as a fan, you have to. But I don't think it's going to be pretty. We talked all of Sunday about how the race is back on. I think the race might be dead. I think Man City might be. Oh my God, they were insane against Brentford. Like you said, like even when Brentford were up 1-0, City already had like 8 shots on target. Like it was Flecken playing out of his mind.
It was.
De Bruyne and Holland starting for the first time together in God knows how long. So um, They are a different beast. The loss of Gundogan over the summer gave me some confidence. That confidence feels a little misplaced at the moment. This team is insane. They always have like one slip up of form, but it feels like that already happened this year. So as far as this game, I don't give Everton a single chance at anything. Hopefully it's not too ugly.
You heard it
Yeah.
here first. 7:30 a.m. this Saturday. My schedule is wide open. If you have any plans, give me a call. I have nothing better to do.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, ever since Kevin De Bruyne got back, the rest of the league has been on notice. It was Man City without that creator, without that world class player, showed that they could bleed, that people could somewhat beat them, they could sit back, and they didn't have a person that could absolutely just ruin your game, even if you're defending perfectly. Kevin De Bruyne is back, and now it's like he will just sit on the ball. Everybody's sat back, and he'll just curl one in right past the defenders in perfect positioning, straight to the attacker's foot, and you're like, yeah, fuck, I don't know, they're just gonna score, and that's just how Kevin De Bruyne is. Like, he is insane, and yeah, Man City's gonna be tough to stop. 5 wins out of their last 5. Fuck, man, not again. It
Really quick,
seemed as if there was a shot.
really quick. Shout out to Phil Foden, hat trick. 8 goals, 7 assists on the season, officially matching Bukayo Saka on what everyone calls a down year. So congratulations on your career best. Welcome to our floor.
Is Bukayo Saka your floor?
That's a high fucking ceiling, my guy.
So yeah, that's an interesting one there, but
I meant
we
Saka's
moved.
floor. Everyone's criticizing the hell out of Bukayo Saka this year for not enough contribution. We're all blowing this kid because he's white and has a little skin fade and a cute child. Like, congratulations, Foden's playing well, living up to his talent. Saka is having a great year despite not being as like goal productive as last year. I'm sick of the slander.
Okay, but I think the slander and more so
Oh
the
my, here we
criticisms
go.
come in. Phil Foden does not have nearly the same expectation that Bukayo Saka has. Bukayo Saka
Then
is
why
the
does everyone on
one
my Twitter is
A.
always saying Foden is a generational talent and Saka sucks?
Those are the
You are
trolls,
on
Nick.
Because it's fun to fuck with you.
No,
Twitter. You're on a side of Twitter that might not
this is
have the
bullshit.
IQ to have a proper
This is
take.
crap.
Nick's getting rage baited fucking every weekend, dude.
Yeah.
You should stay
I'm
off
so
Twitter,
angry. No, no, I'm gonna get more on Twitter and I'm gonna find these motherfuckers. It's the same dude who
Nick,
stole my car. I know it.
Probably, bro. He listens to the pod.
listen to the pod. He heard what you were saying about Saka, and he said, Mm-mm-mm. "I'm gonna take this into my own hands, my own Takis, and my own vape." But we move to a person I associate with the trashy and rattiness of stealing cars and leaving vapes and Takis behind. It is Anthony Gordon with Newcastle versus our American Nottingham Forest team. Boys, this is the game that Gio Reyna announces himself to the world. Mike,
Does he start, do you think?
yeah, I think so. Alanga, I'm guessing will be not starting after his stomp on his Achilles that was not even close to a real football tackle. So I'd say Gio finds himself in based off of how well he played in his little cameo, but also a little help from the medical tent. But Mike, Nottingham Forest, obviously struggling, looking somewhat tempting for the little relegation battle here. But Newcastle has not been in any type of fine form themselves. With Gio Reyna, with Nuno getting another week around his boys, do you see Nottingham Forest being able to pull something out here versus Newcastle?
No, I do not. I think Newcastle has got this one in the bag, and I sure hope they do as an Everton fan. I think Newcastle does have a little bit of form. That win against Villa was a big one. Yeah, they conceded 4 against Luton, but that was a crazy game, and I don't think Nottingham has the ability to do that. For all those who pay attention to our TikTok, had a back and forth dialogue with a Nottingham diehard today. who said he couldn't wait for Gio Reyna to start. So if that's any indication, we could see Gio Reyna. And his preference was on the left wing over Callum Hudson-Odoi, who he said he was not impressed with, even though he scored their lone goal in the last game, 1-1 draw against Bournemouth. So, Nottingham fans, please be true. We'd love to see Gio on the field. I am rooting for a Gio Reyna hat trick and for Newcastle to put 4 up on him. That would make my day. Nick, are we seeing a 7-goal thriller, or am I getting ahead of myself?
Boxing Day, Nottingham beat Newcastle 3-1. Chris Wood Hattie. So
The Kiwi.
listen, Chris Wood's out, but when he's back, Gio is, I guess, in line to start, hopefully. So that's 2 big additions to the squad. I was at St. James, by the way. This one is at the what's it called? City Ground or whatever the hell. Or King.
Yep.
This isn't King Power. Yeah, City. So I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, okay, Newcastle already lost, so like this is the revenge time. But it's at City Ground. Like I feel like the revenge would come at St. James. Maybe Forrest knows something that we don't about Newcastle. They're not in the best form, as you already mentioned. I mean, I guess they beat Fulham in the FA Cup, but tied Luton, lost to Liverpool in the past couple of games. Let's go, dude. Let's ride for the boys. let's get Nottingham going. Gio's gonna start, man of the match, 2 assists, and something off the bar, no goal. But fuck it, give me Nottingham Forest. I don't trust Newcastle right now.
I do worry about Gio Reyna in the midfield versus I guess you'd call him dirty or a little bit more physical, not in just the sense of maybe a shoulder in terms of Newcastle's midfield. So Gio Reyna is a big guy, and can use his physicality well, but the injuries are obviously a concern there. But Gio Reyna can control a midfield, or at least can control it more than fucking booting it into the box every 5 seconds like Nottingham Forest have been doing. So I think Gio Reyna could be a key in this one if Nottingham Forest are going to get a result here. Not likely, though. Their defense has been porous. But we move to another team that has been...
If Lewis
Huh?
Miley could play in a midfield in the Premier League at 17 with his wiry frame, Gio Reyna could do it. I have faith. He's not as frail and weak as we're thinking.
He's not frail and weak. He's a physical, large midfielder. The problem is that
Oh, he's large.
he gets hit
Pause.
quite a bit. He uses that physicality
No
quite a bit. But before this gets a little off track, as it likes
He was
to do.
talking about his penis. That's what he was talking about.
All right.
Drake?
Listen, that is for Patreons only. That part of the podcast.
Gio.
Gio. We move away from that conversation, for the love of God, and to Tottenham Hotspur, where the conversation does not get too much greater. They're facing Brighton, who have been a bit of an enigma this season. Nick, they are good. I think they have done pretty decent, especially for Brighton historical standards. But man, they have had some off times for what seemed to be a team with the Zerbi that was really hitting form, really supposed to be good. And Tottenham are somewhat similar at a higher level, that they've looked really good at times, miss some players, and they look really bad at times. Is this a toss-up of just who looks better on the day here, or do you think Tottenham have that defined advantage here?
I don't know, dude. I see. It's tough. First of all, is Matoma back? Do we know? Because Japan lost.
Yeah,
Is he
Matoma
gonna be able
might.
to
I
make
don't
it for
think
this weekend?
Son would be back. They've been out for a week or two, so I think he might be back.
He should be.
I think Japan just lost Saturday, right? Friday.
I believe they lost a round before South Korea, and South Korea just
They
lost.
lost in the quarterfinals, so they've been gone for at least 5 days.
Okay. I think if Matoma's back, I think it's a big boost. If Son is back, I can't see Tottenham losing this game. Brighton is unimpressive in the midfield. They're just missing someone there. Say what you want about Caicedo's form at Chelsea, but he was a baller there for Brighton last year. So, still really big hole. Pause. And I'm not totally sure what to expect out of this Brighton team. It's at the Amex or whatever they're calling their stadium now, but I think I like Tottenham this game.
Mike, from the Brighton side here, obviously a lot of talent, a lot of it being stretched thin due to their higher performing last year. Is this a game where it's been a while since they've been in Europe? Is this a time that De Zerbi can really get back to what he did best and kind of cooking towards the home stretch, or Tottenham? You give them on the edge
I don't
again.
know, man. It's an up and down team, yeah. Last time they played Tottenham, they gave them 4. They won 4-2. It was Tottenham without a back line when they had those major injuries, so something to be said about that. But the way Tottenham plays, how high up the field, they get players dragged out of position and lets Brighton play through the midfield, which they like to do, and then get out to their wide players if they're available. If Matoma's back, that's huge, because Porro will have an issue with that, the way he likes to play. And Ansu Fati is back, I believe. He had a small cameo off the bench in their last fixture. So if he can play, that's another big option. Still no Adingra. They should be able to compete here. I think there'll be goals on both sides. I don't think Brighton will be able to prevent Tottenham from at least getting one. So it'll come down to how clinical they are and if João Pedro's on it. I really think
Van de
I
Ven,
think
bro. Van de Ven being back is huge. So
it is
that's
huge.
really
You're right.
what edges it for me. That dude's a baller.
so I think a key factor that we are not talking about here is the person who has been in the hottest form of either of these
Richie?
teams,
Richie?
Richarlison, little pigeon. That guy is certainly an X factor for Tottenham at the moment, and I think in this game could prove to be the difference here because he is scoring at an unreal rate, and I don't know, he's getting back to his Everton form, his goal scoring ways. But
It's never that great at Everton. Like,
it was good for Everton at least.
I'll give Tottenham Big Dom and Beto and Trinity and whoever else for Richarlison back. I'll do that.
Whoever they want, name the price. But that is it for our featured previews. We go elsewhere in the Premier League this week to our title challenger Arsenal facing off a London rival West Ham. And just a quick thing about Arsenal here is while Man City has to face the mighty Everton in their next game, Arsenal's next 5 are looking pretty set up for them to make a run here. It is West Ham here, then Burnley, Newcastle. Obviously could be a tough game, but based off of form, would not be maybe you would say the hardest game they'd run into. And then Sheffield and Brentford. 5 very winnable games here, Nick. Starts with West Ham, who are a quality side, could certainly pull out a result here. What are you looking for in this one? What's the key to Arsenal getting that streak started?
yeah, keeping up some good form, honestly. Like, let's keep seeing Martinelli playing really well. He's been super dangerous since coming back. The back line's getting healthier. Tomiyasu's on the way back. Jurriën Timber announced for our Champions League group stage squad. Oh my god. I don't know if I've ever fallen in love with a player that quick after not knowing too much about him since signing for my club. He is quality. He bossed that Community Shield against Man City. So I'm very excited for that when it comes, but this is a game we should be able to win. We lost the reverse fixture already, so a little bit of revenge vibes coming into it. We'll see if Gabby Jesus is ready to play or not. But honestly, I think we stick with Havertz at the 9. They have some physical center backs that I think he could duke it out with, and Zuma and Aguerd or whatever the Moroccan's name is. I believe it's Aguerd. So just keep the good vibes going. I would love to see Emil get a bit of a run here. But if they want to stick with the Jorginho Rice pivot, I don't think they will. But if they do, I wouldn't hate it. Yeah, I mean, the meme that is super popular of like the guy beating someone else in the head with a pipe but all 3 of them are just titled Arsenal. So the only thing that can beat us in this game, I think, is us. Make sure not to do it. Take your chances when they come. Don't do stupid own goals like we saw on the weekend.
Yep. And this is an emotional game. It's going to be Declan Rice back to the London Stadium. So I'm sure he will be juiced up and he will have his teammates juiced up for him. So I think Arsenal sometimes can play down to their opponent at times. I don't see that happening.
Casualty.
Knock on wood there. Not to fuck you over there, Nick. I will make sure I don't go without knocking there. Mike, we go to another one where it's really Chelsea versus some players that they're probably going to try and buy in the summer. It is Crystal Palace versus Chelsea here. Neither of these teams are necessarily playing that inspired ball. And I think a big question, obviously Crystal Palace, Roy Hodgson, don't know if you really put him on the hot seat, just because as long as they're not going to be relegated, I don't think they're looking to make that much change. But for Chelsea, Pochettino, you're giving him a lot of time to turn things around. He has not really turned things around. You thought for a second they had 3 wins in a row, and you're thinking, you know what, maybe he's finally paid off. But it's been poor in their last 2. Is a loss here enough for you to say, hey, Mourinho's on the market? Some other managers might be interested if we can get to them quicker than other teams. Is Poach on the hot seat for going out if they lose to Crystal Palace here, who has looked somewhat dreadful?
I don't think so. They've essentially come out and said that his job's safe. He feels that his job's safe. But there is a lot of pressure from the fans. They were booing last match when they got killed by Wolves. They got killed by Liverpool the match before. They're just leaking goals. So I guess, man, if you lose to this Crystal Palace team, that is really egg on your face. That's embarrassing. They don't have either of their best players in the attack. So if you're conceding goals, like you're really doing something very, very poorly. Yeah, they should have all the ball. They should be able to create attacks. And they have Nkuku back. They have their picks up top for their attacking talent, so they should be able to score goals too. Think his job's safe, but this seems like the match if you somehow lose, that could all change very, very quickly. As far as Hodgson, yeah, I think they'll ride him out the rest of the season and try to do a fresh hire in the summer. It's elder abuse. It is what it is. Sorry, man. You're a legend of the game, but it's going ugly right now.
He's so old. Like, so old.
Hey, Nick, you know who's
He is-
older?
Who?
The President of the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they
We,
both look like weathered 70-year-olds. They look bad for their age.
Oh, yeah. It's brutal out there, man.
It's brutal.
There are some young and spry gentlemen out there leading some big organizations.
Which job has more pressure? Crystal Palace manager or leader of the free world?
Certainly. Chelsea is in
What?
they're just in a hellhole right now. They had reporters getting leaks from their locker room that says the locker room is a shit show. Their own fans were chanting Jose Mourinho's name versus Wolves, and then his Wolves fans were chanting "You're fucking shit, you're fucking shit." Chelsea fans decided to start chanting, "Yeah, we're fucking shit, we're fucking shit."
That's what happens when the alpha fucking, talks you down.
If anything,
Jose
to
would
give
be a
props
crazy
to
hire.
Chelsea, they are self-aware, and you can't knock them for that one. They know that things need to change, and they know that they are currently shit. With all the money they have, you would hope that does not last too long, but knowing Chelsea, god damn it just might. We go to the Premier League cleanup here. Of course, that team that made them chant that they are shit. It is our Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves versus Brentford here. Start of the year, this would be a dark horse for dark horse game. At this point of the year, it seems like Wolves should be a good favorite here. They've been
Jesus,
putting
what a
goals in.
jinx.
left and right. Ivan Toney, though, is back, so we'll see if he can get those bees buzzing. Shout out to
Neil
Neil
Mape?
Mape. Yeah, I was going to say, shout out to Neil Mape for being quite the little shit stirrer in every way possible. The celebrations, the way he acts, the way he talks after games, just a real thorn in anyone's side. And honestly, if you're playing against him, that's something you don't want to deal with, is how annoying he's going to be. We move to our league leaders, Liverpool. They're playing Burnley. There's going to be no surprise there. Liverpool will win. We'll see what happens. JJ Watt's team versus Liverpool here, versus LeBron's team. A clash of American Titans out there. We should see Klopp and his men get a bounce back win after that Arsenal loss. And we go to Fulham versus Bournemouth, an American clash. Tyler Adams still on the bench and still injured, but he's back to training. Training with the team should come soon, their manager said. And Fulham, of course, with Jedi coming off a bicycle kick assist. How could you miss this one? Because there are better games would be probably the answer to that one. But nonetheless, it's a good mid-table clash here, and I think for both these games, it's a game that proves where you really sit in that table, because they are back-to-back on there. Both of them not in great form. Kind of a one to get some points on the board for either of them to really secure their safety for the rest of the season.
What a comeback by
And
Bournemouth
Mike,
throughout the season.
yeah, Bournemouth were awful the first 10 weeks of the season, so hats off to them for going on that beautiful run of form. Mike, I saved this last one because it's just a shit show. Everton is playing Man City, and the last matchup of the week here is Luton Town versus Sheffield United. If there is anyone that you do not want, somebody that you are rooting against to play, it is Sheffield United. So I say this to you, Austin Trusty. Everton has been an amazing American club. Landon Donovan, Tim Howard, should have been Gio Reyna. But god damn it, we need you now, Austin Trusty, more than ever. Those Blades are mighty. In Luton Town last year, you would have beat them in the championship. So fucking beat them now, for the love of Christ. Everton needs this. Mike, are we saying a prayer for Sheffield here, or is that lost? Is that a lost cause?
Dude, it's like Barry Bonds in a Special Olympics home run derby. There's just there's only one winner in this game.
Nick, anything
It's
maybe
not
slightly
Sheffield.
less problematic to say about this one? Is there hope?
We have to kick him off the pod, right? We can't keep letting this shit slide. What the fuck? Does Austin Trusty suck? Is he bad? I don't. What's going on?
He was Birmingham City's Defender of the Year last year. I will have you know.
Yeah, what the hell happened? They're getting gassed left and right. I sneaky. If this is, I kind of like a tie this game. I know that goes against all convention, but if you're Sheffield and there's one game you get up for, it's got to be the team that also got promoted with you. So I think we see Sheffield's best ball, and fingers crossed for the Toffees.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I would be okay with a draw here. Sheffield, I think, should have some confidence knowing that they were a top or a higher placing team in the championship.
No, they should
so
not. They should have no
They-
confidence.
What
They
they
have
should
no confidence. There's
they should have
there's no.
we'll get into semantics. They should have more confidence than versus any other team, potentially, other than Burnley.
Yes,
Maybe.
yes.
We'll see.
Other than Burnley,
But
yes.
yeah. There's not a lot of confidence going around in Sheffield, but there's a sliver. There is certainly a sliver.
Other than Everton.
You need to stop. It is.
That wasn't cool.
There's no need for any salt to be rubbed in any wounds. We will move after that rude comment about a fine footballing institution in the Merseyside to our
Time and
U.S.
place.
men's national
Time
team
and place.
corner. I know I didn't hear that, but I'm just gonna keep rolling anyways. U.S. men's national team corner. not as large as last time. We had a whole bunch of updates. This time, really the only update is that Nottingham Forest in their midweek game versus Bristol City will not have Gio Reyna. He was not registered in time, but they will also not have their new keeper, Cells, available.
Shit.
So
Matty.
Matty Turner, get in there, lad. Gets another start. I think a strong performance versus Bristol City will be enough to prove to Nuno Espirito Santos that Matty Turner deserves another shot at love here in Nottingham. Of course, that's not true, but we'll see how he does. Hopefully, he can do well against Bristol City and maybe get at least a little confidence, because he is probably still the number one option for the U.S. So confidence, like Sheffield, not easy to come by at the moment for him. We'll hope that he gets some confidence from that one. But we do move in to our locks of the week. Palmer, can you pull up our standings for the locks? We go through it here.
I would like to say I think we missed last week, right?
Yeah. There's a bunch of midweek games, so we didn't do
Let's
the.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got one extra here.
I got mine right, but yeah. Yep.
So we have
You didn't
Nico.
have one for the weekend though, right, Tracy?
No.
Villa
Yeah, I got
2-1
mine right.
Newcastle. Newcastle beat Villa, didn't they?
Yes.
What?
I lost
Okay,
that one.
so you lost that one. What were you saying then?
It's up to
Alright.
date. I was fucking.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So scroll up to the top here, Palmer, so I can read it out for our audio listeners. Nico is at 9 points. Your one
This isn't
co-host.
updated. This isn't updated.
Yes, it is.
It is
With
updated.
the
He's
one I just
1, 2,
won?
3, 4, 5,
Yes, he
6,
just- he
7,
just
8,
put it.
9. Yep.
Anyways,
That's
Nico
okay.
at 9. I am at 13, and Mike is at 10. Nico cannot catch a break. His car gets stolen, and now we will steal from his wallet for a jersey if results stay the same. But Nick, you are looking to change that by disrespecting Manchester United this week. What is
I was
your pick here?
I was so close as you're going off about this Brentford versus Wolves game. Like Wolves is a lock, yada yada. I was like, this is the biggest flags curse I've ever seen in my life. Like I was so close. So I literally typed out Brentford 2, Wolves 1. It just didn't feel right. So I'm going with my gut. Give me Villa 3, Man U 2. I think this is gonna be a really great game. I think Man U is gonna impress me. I don't think they get the win just because Villa's a good side at home. Um, and they're pretty confident after that thrashing in the weekend. But I'm hoping for goals. I hope it's a back and forth game. Give me Villa 3, Man U 2.
All right, Nick, I will give you another reason why you should not have picked Wolves and Brentford, and that is because I already picked them as well.
Ah.
Uh, I picked it to be Wolves 2, Brentford 1. Wolves have been scoring quite a bit of goals here, but I don't think they can have a clean sheet versus Brentford, who Mape, Tony, pick
Mape.
one of these.
Really?
They're going to get a goal here.
I will be honest,
Really quick.
historically, anytime
Come on, Pe-
Flags backs a team, they lose. So I'm worried for this weekend.
I am
Yeah,
literally winning this lock of the week contest. I don't know why you say that. I've gotten the most right. So if
I've
I
never
put
seen
money on
someone
this-
lose so much money on soccer
Yeah,
bets.
if I were to put money on this, there is a 0% shot that Wolves win it. But I will not do that because I respect the Wolves fans, and Palmer, I don't want to do that to you and your team.
I appreciate that
really quick.
sincerely.
Hold on. I think, tell me how you feel about this, but I think we should be allowed to pick like opposite results of each other.
Yeah, I have nothing against
I like that.
That
Yeah.
works for me.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's debut it. Give me Brentford 3, Wolves 1.
Wow,
Oh.
one of us is getting a point. Mike, go with the Brentford Wolves tie. Come on now.
That is an interesting.
Do it.
Yeah.
You coward.
Yeah. I'm not
Don't
going to
be
be
that
peer
guy.
pressured into this. I'm going to
You're a
stick
coward.
You're a coward.
with my new favorite Premier League team, the Arsenal Gunners. I am a
Yeah, go
red.
Gunners.
I'm taking Arsenal. What am I taking them? I'm taking them 3 and West Ham 1.
Who's getting that one for West Ham?
Let's
Zinchenko.
see. Calvin Phillips
No, he's bro.
with an absolute
I would love
belter,
that.
35-yard
He
half
might
volley.
he
To
might
give
get
him the
one for
lead.
Arsenal.
And
Yeah,
a goal scorer nonetheless.
we'll score
But
one.
we close on what will surely eventually get us on a watch list. It is our one question with producer P. Palmer, hit us with the look, boys.
Boys.
All right, boys.
I don't think I have a
Boys.
spicy one this week. Hang on, let me pull up my thing. Oh, no, it is a good one. All right. This is a plain as motherfucker. God damn it. For the viewers out there, we have a fucking
Outside.
game called Sniper that if someone hits you with a fucking scope like that. Hang on, I gotta do the thing.
If somebody hits you with a little this action, you touch your shoulder. Yeah, I had mine crosswall doing it just in case. You have to touch your shoulder to the ground right then and there, unless you have your fingers crossed. And Mike decided that while
It was a good time.
live recording a podcast was a great time to do so. So
Fuck you, Mike.
Avocado.
Boys, plain and simple. Who's got the biggest cock in football? Go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Gio.
Oh my! My mother watches this podcast.
I can't wait for her to hear your answer.
It's
There was
Romelu.
a certain Belgian striker in the Manchester, and he had a song about him.
It's a song.
Yeah, it wasn't so subtle of a song that you could infer.
Let me get
Could
the
you
let me
just
get the name.
Romelu Lukaku.
Listen,
He's a
Megan Thee Stallion
Belgian
was not dating him for no
soldier
reason.
with the 24-inch penis, scoring all the goals.
Oh, there he
Fell
is.
into
There's the
his
song.
toes.
I mean, yeah, that's a
How
pretty
about
good.
biggest-
That's a pretty good answer.
How about just like biggest big dick energy?
Sure, we'll go with
Simeone.
That's what happened, bro.
Oh, I don't hate that. But that might be biggest cojones. He's-
That's a big set of balls.
I think cojones is the right word for Simeone. Not balls,
Yeah.
but cojones.
Honest.
Yeah, I think Zlatan in a past life. Non-retired.
In the current life,
I mean, he's not playing. He's retired.
I suppose. He's still involved in AC Milan and has his little fingers all over that organization with making moves and potential
Pause.
changes to the coach. So
Shout out Daniel De Rossi, by the way, having the boys at Roma playing stellar ball.
Big.
yeah.
I saw Dybala had a brace the other day. Did they get that win?
Yeah. They were playing like fluid. It was a good game.
What do you guys
That
think of
seemed like-
Dybala's career? He seemed like he should be, at least to me, maybe have a more successful career, but he's obviously
Guess
still
the age.
he's still La Joya,
Guess the age.
29.
32.
I'd say 30.
Who am I looking up?
30.
Paulo
Dybala.
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 30.
30.
Yes, bro. I get a point on the lock.
Oh no.
Come on.
Guess that age.
Yeah, well, the definite answer is Lukaku just because of that song. So a spicy question, but unfortunately a very quick response.
That is unfortunate. However, it is a great song, and I do remember it now that you
Phenomenal.
guys have said it. I've actually even heard that.
That should have been our intro song for the pod.
Yeah, that would have gone over great.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to
I
just
think so.
English fans in general for coming up with chants to just about any song to say just about anything, as you can see there.
It's a catchy
No
tune too.
chants, no defense, no nothing like that. They are going creative over there. And something
Belgium
that
scoring
here in
genius, bro.
America, we should absolutely adopt chants like that. Just imagine the shit you could bring up on just about any NFL or NBA player.
Michigan
Like,
State's
there are
got a
so
couple of
many
those.
great chants and songs you could sing out.
I believe song is fire for USA.
That's decent. It's decent.
No.
It can't rival the English. Speaking of USA,
No,
though,
no.
big shout out Tim Howard because I'm sure he's not far off Big Rom. He's my honorable mention for American players.
I'm gonna go ahead and get to our closing statements before any
Josie.
more comments
Josie out the
about
door.
honorable mentions are being made.
Clint. Yeah.
Nick, any non-genitalia related closing thoughts here?
I'm pretty stuck on genitalia, if I'm being honest.
I-
In a horny podcast.
The Arsenal. Title race on. I guess I don't know. Man City really. I saw Brentford winning, and Man City kind of put a dagger in my heart. So shout out to my car for coming home.
It's coming home. Mike, who's dead and who's got a game?
No one's dead that I know of, except for
Toby
anybody else who
Keith,
died.
R.I.P.
Toby Keith, R.I.P.
Red Solo Cup. Rest in peace, Toby Keith.
Bringing
And
it
we're
back
gonna
up.
bring it up. We're bringing it back up.
Actually did.
I won't be watching this morning for mental health or Saturday morning for mental health reasons. But tune in to the Battle of the Balds. Sean Dyche versus Pep Guardiola, the finest looking Englishman
managers.
and a Spanish lad. I didn't have any faith in him, but if I had someone to lead us into battle, it would be Sean Dyche. Up the Toffs.
Shout out to all of our fans on YouTube, racking up those views. The new
Oh, yeah.
thumbnail, the intro. You guys are loving it. Leave comments what you want to see next, what you want us to talk about, and leave thoughts on if Dan Campbell should leave the Detroit Lions to coach the Everton Toffees. We need that grit, I think. He's the guy that
Leader
turns
of
around
men.
franchises. Leader of men. Let us know. Subscribe, follow, turn on notifications. Let us know what you think. And until next time, peace.
Peace, boys.
Ben Johnson is an OC.